Welcome to an updated Canva Pro tutorial. Canva has been going crazy recently, adding so many new features to their graphic design platform, and I definitely wanted to create a tutorial to dive into all of these new things. Here is the agenda for this tutorial. First, we're going to go over pricing so that you know how much everything costs and you can decide whether you want to stick with the free version or move on to the paid version of Canva. Next, we're going to break down the Canva home screen. I want you to know exactly how to navigate and where and how to find anything you need. I'm going to show you everything Canva has to offer, so if in the future you need a certain type of design, you know exactly where to find it. In the home screen, we're also going to get you set up for success. I'm going to show you how to manage your designs by creating folders so that you can keep everything nice and organized. We're going to set up your brand kit, and I'll show you about the content planner as well. After that, we'll get into how to use Canva's photo and video editor. We'll talk about music, editing videos, and also how to use and edit templates. Once your design is ready to go, you're going to want to know how to download and share that design. So we'll go over the many options to do just that. Lastly, we'll finish off by creating a design from scratch. We're going to be creating the very thumbnail you saw in this video together. If you want to skip to a certain part of this video, check out the description. All the timestamps are listed down there. And before we jump in, please support this channel by giving me a thumbs up and make sure that you're subscribed for more informative tutorials like this one. I do want to get into Canva's pricing so that you know what this tutorial is going to entail. So first we have the free, which is $0, and you can get started with this today. I used Canva, the free version, for years and created lead magnets, ebooks, graphic designs for social media, thumbnails, and so much more. So you definitely can do a bunch of things with just the free version. I've been using Canva Pro for a while now because I wanted to take full advantage of it and use the extra features. And then they also have the enterprise, but I suppose this would be for a big growing business if you want to collaborate with other people on designs. And of course, you can scroll down and kind of see the comparisons. They have it divided by design and publishing, and then we have collaboration, brand management. Here you can kind of see what each plan includes. So it's up to you what you want to do, whether you want to start with the free, whether you want to jump right in with Pro. It is $13 if you pay month by month, but if you pay yearly, it's only $10 a month. And to me, that is so underpriced for what Canva offers, from video editing to animations to lots of photos, lots of fonts and colors, so many things it offers. To me, this is underpriced, but to some people it seems like a lot, so it's totally up to you. But if you do want to sign up with Canva Pro and have a 30 free day trial, check out the first link in the description. That will take you there. But just so you know, today's tutorial is going to be heavily centered on taking full advantage of Canva Pro. Once you do choose the plan you want to go with and you set up your account, which is fairly easy, I'm going to skip over that part. You just use your email and create a password, and then you'll be able to access this Canva homepage. And right now we're just going to break down what all of this is and where you can start creating designs, how to find what you're looking for. At the top we have home, next to that we have templates, and these are designs that are already professionally made. All you have to do is go in and change the text, the colors to customize it to fit your needs. And they have templates for social media, from Instagram stories to Facebook videos. They have personal templates as well. So if you wanted to create an invitation, it's already made for you. All you have to do is change the colors and change the text to make it say what you want it to say. You can do a resume, a postcard, a planner for business. You can do websites, logos, marketing. They have things for educators like lesson plans and worksheets, storyboards. And then the last category here are things that are trending, like this iOS template, Halloween flyers, YouTube intro, Halloween t-shirts, and they do have a ton more templates than the one listed here, but these are just some of the most popular ones that people are using right now. Next to templates, we have features. So we have all of the different kind of photos you can use, and they have it broken down into different categories. And of course, you can dive in deeper by clicking on this see all. Then we have icons. You can search for all kinds of icons: social media, business, weather, computer, and then they have print products. This is like a print on demand kind of thing. You can actually create your business cards here on Canva and order prints from them. You can create t-shirts, brochures, invitations, stickers, so many things you can create here on Canva. And you just order them right from the website and they will deliver them to your doorstep. Apps, these are companies that Canva has partnered up with to make your graphic designs that much more better. So they have Google Maps. You can add a Google Map right into your design. They have GIFs, QR codes, YouTube, Duotone, and so many more apps that they have partnered with. The last category we have here is Explore, just different things that they think you'd like to know about, like graphs and charts. You can also use these kind of templates for your designs. The last little tab here at the top is Learn. I went through all of these different tutorials to learn how to use Canva. They have courses, tutorials, and many other different classes that you can take, and they're free. So I really do suggest that after watching this video, if you want to learn more, not only about Canva, but just overall graphic design, because it is an art to it. What kind of colors go well with others, fonts, how to pair them to make them look good, all of that jazz is included for free right here, and that's just awesome. So I recommend you come check this portion out. Then we'll move on to this gear icon here. And this is where you will go to manage your account. From your username to your email, password, all that will be included here. Billing, if you ever want to deactivate your account or if you want to check on your printed orders, here's where you will go. Next to the gear icon, we have create design. And this is yet another way for you to start creating your designs. As you will see as we move through this video, there are many different options for you to get started. Here you can search for anything you want, any template. You can add your custom size. So if you wanted to add a custom dimensions by pixels, by inches, centimeters, all of that is included here. Or you can just scroll through the suggested to pick something. Moving on to this middle portion, here in the middle we have the search option, and here you can literally search any keyword. So if I search family, it'll give me family photo collage, family newsletter, or you can search for even book. We have a book cover, a bookmark, a photo book, anything you're looking for, just describe it here in the search bar and you can find it. But even if I put in something like Poshmark, it's going to bring up all my other Poshmark designs I've created. So you can search for something to start creating, or you can search for something that you've already created in the past, and if you want to find it easily, this is how you would do it, through the search bar. Scrolling down, we have different tabs here at the top for different kind of designs you may want to get started with. And again, we have the custom size here if you want to add your own pixels. Here are the recommended ones. I don't know if these are here because they're the most popular ones or because they're the ones I use the most, but you can scroll through here to find a design to create. Then below that we have your design. So as you can see, I use Canva to create my title cards for my videos. So when I edit my videos, I have these graphics. I create them on Canva. I use Filmora to edit my videos, but I prefer to create my graphics here on Canva. And of course, I use it to create my thumbnails. This is the thumbnail for this actual video, which we are going to get into. I'm going to show you step by step how I created that. Over here, you can also see that I use it for Poshmark as well to edit my photos. Scrolling down, you'll just see even more templates, which we are going to jump into how to edit these templates and make them your own and customize them for your own needs. First, let's go over the sidebar here. At the top, let's start here where it says Are Your Designs, which is essentially the same thing as this. It's just another way to access it, but I'm going to click on it to show you a few things. So here are all the designs I've ever created with Canva. A couple things you can do here is, number one, you can rename each design by simply hovering over the title. A pencil icon will appear and then you can rename any design you want. Another thing you can do with each of these designs is click these three dots on the top right hand corner, and it will give you many options. You can make a copy, you can move it to a folder, which we're going to get into what these folders are and how to create them. You can download the design right from this page. You can get a shareable link so that you can share it with others and they can come straight to the design. You can comment and like, or you can trash it. If you wanted to edit multiple designs at once, you just hover over the left corner and you check mark these boxes, and then you can either move them to a folder with this file icon that appears at the bottom, or you can trash them, and that's an easy way to edit multiple designs at once. Moving along, the next option on the sidebar is shared with you, and these are designs that people have emailed to you to your Canva account. Then we have brand kit, and I do want to go over this portion with you because this is super useful. Brand kit is basically where you will store your logos, your colors, and your fonts that you use often. One of the most important parts of design is to keep your things consistent throughout a whole document. So for colors and fonts, the more you keep them consistent, the more uniform and better it will look. And Canva makes it easier for you by giving you this option. You can come here and add your logo so that it's easy to access anytime you want to add it to a design. Below that, we have brand colors. So this is the palette that I use for most of my designs. All of my thumbnails have these similar colors. When I created my website, I used these similar colors. Anytime I create a lead magnet, I use the same palette that I named main because this is my main palette. To add one of your own, you can always click here where it says add and discover palettes, and you can choose one of the ones that they have ready for you here, or you can add a custom palette by clicking this plus button at the bottom and then this plus button here, and that will bring up this window where you can move this circle around to find the color you want. You can also move this slider to the left or to the right until you find one, and then you click add to add another one. Do the same thing, look for a color you like, keep clicking add until you have all the colors that you like, and then you can click this title here to name it something different. And that's how you would add your brand colors so that they're easy to access when you're creating designs and you can keep your things consistent. Same thing with fonts. These are just fonts that I chose that I wanted to use often, and then you just click this edit button, search for the font you want, select it. You can even choose your size that you want, whether you want it bold or italicized. Another option is to upload fonts. You can Google free fonts and download the file folder and click upload font here. These are some of the ones that I downloaded from Google and uploaded right on here to Canva. The next option on this side panel here is content planner, and this is fairly new. I have yet to use it, but it's so simple to use. It just basically gives you a way to organize your designs and when you plan to upload them. So you can just hover over any day, click the add button that appears, and you can create a design that you want to upload on the certain day, or you can choose a design that you've already created before to upload to social media on this certain day. There's just an easy way for you to plan your content, plan the designs that you're going to be uploading in the future. Next, we have create a team. If you wanted to invite someone along to help you edit different graphics and help you in the process of creating one, you just add their email address here and add them to your account. Then we have your folders. At the top, we have the generic folders that everyone gets. We also have this trash folder. So anything you delete from Canva will never be permanently deleted until you go to this trash and delete it permanently. Everything will always be stored here, which is nice because if you accidentally delete something, no harm. You can always come get it from here. Here we have all your designs, the ones that are shared with you, anything you like on Canva, from a photo to an element, a shape, a color, a background, you can find it here. So I try to like things that I know I will be using in the future so that they're easy to find here. Uploads, here's where you will find all your photos and videos and audio that you've uploaded to Canva. And if you ever purchase anything, because they do have premium images that you can purchase, you'll find it here. Your logos, and then down here I have the folders that I've created. I have one for email, for Filmora, for lead magnets, quotes, YouTube, Poshmark. And to create a folder, all you have to do is click this option at the top right, create new folder, and then you can name your folder, decide if you want to share it with somebody by adding their email address here, and create folder. And this folder is ready to use. If I go to all your designs, hover over the top right hand corner, click move to folder. I can find that folder that I just created, test, click move here, and now that design will be in that test folder. It will still stay here in the all your designs tab, but it will also be found in that other test folder as well. We're almost done with this sidebar here. Next is trash, which we already talked about. Likes, we talked about as well. Anytime you like a photo, an element, or anything, you can find it here. All your purchases will be here. And here are some of the folders that I've created. Now that you know how to navigate this complex home screen, let's jump into how to edit a template. We're going to be creating an Instagram post as an example. So I'm going to scroll down where it says Instagram post and click on see all here at the top right. That will bring us to this page. At the top there's two tabs, templates and your design, so you can always navigate to your design straight from here. The very first option is to create a blank Instagram post, so they will give you a blank page so that you can start from scratch. But as we've been talking about before, they also have these templates. You can find one that looks similar to something that you wanted to create and choose that, and then go in and change the colors and the text and make it your own. This is the design that we're going to be editing to make our own. So I'm going to choose this one by clicking right on it, and that will bring us here to the actual design platform. So just like the home screen, before we get into editing this template, we are going to go over a quick overview of what all these things are and what they do, just so that it's easier for you to follow along with me when we get into the actual design. If you ever wanted to go back to the home screen we just came from, that's here at the top left. Next to that we have file, and this is where you can manage your file. You can change the name of it here. You can create a new design straight from this page as well by clicking here. The next set of options are for you to get more precise with your design. You can show rulers, guidelines, margins, and print bleed. So if I click on the show ruler option, you'll see that it'll pop up a ruler here next to my design, and that's if you want to get things even. So that's what these few set of options are for. The next set of options are just to actually manage your file. If you want to save it to a folder, manage comments, see the version history. So once you start making lots of changes to your design, if you want to go back to a version that you had previously, that's what this version history is for. It saves all the different stages your design has been at so that it's easier to go back if you choose to do so. You can make an exact copy of this design and you can download it straight from here. Next we have resize. So this template here is a perfect size for Instagram, 1080 by 1080. That's what Instagram will accept. It will accept different size designs, but this is what will look good on Instagram, a 1080 by 1080. And obviously for YouTube, if you hover over here, it'll tell you 1280 by 720 is the design pixels that they will accept, and it's different for every platform. So if you create this design to upload it onto Instagram, but then you want to create a video and have the same design as a thumbnail, it's not going to work. It's too small, but you can always click here to resize it. You can choose your own dimensions, or you can choose one of these options. So I'm going to click on the YouTube, and then your two options down here are to resize this exact design, get rid of it, make it bigger, or you can copy and resize. So I'm going to click on this option, and what that did is open a whole new tab. My old tab is still here with the Instagram version, and then here we have named up here, it says copy. So this is the YouTube version. It's the exact same design, but it's bigger. Now all you have to do is go in here and move things around so that it looks good for this size. So I'm just stretching things out and moving them around. So there is a bit of work involved when resizing. You have to readjust things, but it is a whole lot easier than starting from scratch just to get a bigger size design when you need that. So that's the usefulness of this resize option. Next to that is your save status. Things automatically save as soon as you make a change. Sometimes it may lag a little bit due to internet issues, but if you ever want to see if your changes have been saved, you can always look up here to know. Next to that is our title. This is another spot where we can edit our title if we choose. This share and download options we'll leave till the very end when we finish the design. I'll walk you through your many different options to get a hold of your design and share it across any social media. Let's move on to this left hand side here. We're going to go over all of these pretty quickly so that we can get into editing this template. The first option are templates, and this is just another way for you to access the ready-made designs that Canva has. So if you wanted to switch it up and not use this one, you can choose one from here. They have it divided into different categories, but you can always use the search option here. And next to that, we have a filter option as well. You can choose to filter all of this vast library of templates by different colors and even language. Then we have uploads, and uploads is divided into 3 different tabs. We have images, we have videos, and we have audio. And these you can choose them right from your computer and upload them here. Just click on upload media. Go to where you want to upload your image from. I'm going to click on device. That is going to bring up my file folder for me to choose a photo from. I'm just going to go with this very first one by clicking on it and clicking open. Right here is the progress bar at the bottom. I can use it and start editing it once it's done processing, which is pretty fast. It is done now. At the top of each media, you have this option where you can check the box to move it to a folder or move it to the trash. Then you also have these 3 dots where you can move it to a folder, download the photo, or trash the photo altogether. You can also choose from their library of photos, which is the next option here. At the top, they have trending stuff. They have some that you've recently used. And just like the templates, you can search here and you can filter them. And here they give you some more filtering options. You can filter them by square photos, vertical, horizontal. If you want to see just free photos, or if you want to see just premium pro photos, you can click this filter here and click apply. Next, we have elements, and these are just shapes, lines, different animations that you can add to your design. At the top are the ones that I've recently used. Then we have featured, and as we scroll down, we have lines, and then we have frames, and these are basically just photo holders. I'm going to tap on this arrow here to scroll through. As you can see, we have tablets and computers. You can just drop a photo in here so that the photo appears it's inside the computer. We have stickers and charts, all sorts of things here in this element option. Let's move on to text. At the top is your simple text, just to add a heading, a subheading, or just a little bit of text to your design. And then below that, we have font combinations. So these are basically like the templates. They're fonts that are expertly paired, and they already come with set colors that you can just smack onto your design and change the text so that it says what you want it to say, but they're already designed for you, which is nice. They have so many cool combinations here. So anyone you want to use, you just click on it and it will move it over to your design over here where you can start editing it. I'm going to trash that for now and move on to styles. Styles refers to the combination of colors and the combination of fonts mixed together. That makes a style. So at the top we have this main color palette from my brand kit. We have the one that we created that said test, and then they have some that they've created for you at the bottom. To show you how they work, I'm going to click on this OVO and now style, and that will change this design to match these fonts and these colors. And you can always click on the shuffle option to play around with the colors, to move them around. It'll still be the same colors, but they'll kind of move them around. And I'm going to go ahead and click this undo option at the top to undo all of that and get my picture back to how it was. That's how styles work. Next we have music, and at the top we have search and we have filters. So you can always search by vocals, instrumentals, or if you want to just see the free music, you can apply it here. To add a music track to your design, just choose the one you want, click on it. It will live down here on the left hand side. You can always click play at the top. Once you hover over the track, you'll have this little hand icon appear, and you can move it around so that it plays a different part of the track for you. You have a few editing options when it comes to music, and that is to lower or turn up the volume. And then you can also just trash it. As we saw on the upload section, you can upload your own video, but then down here, we also have videos inside Canva that you can use for free, and they work just like everything has been working. You can search and you can filter here. To add a video to your design, just choose the one you want and click on it. That will move it over to your design here. Once it's made it here, you can play the video, you can pause the video. If you hover over to the circles on the corners, you can stretch it out and resize it. Anything that has this blue outline here means that it's selected. So since this video is selected, it's giving me the editing options on top. If I had this text selected, it will give me those editing options on top. Let's continue talking about video for now though. We can crop a video by clicking here, hover over in the corners and stretch it out, and move the video around so that it fits how you want it. If I wanted just this man to show in the complete video, I can do that. Or I can shrink it down. I'm going to click cancel for now. We can also flip a video horizontally or vertically. We can cut a video, but this will just allow you to cut the beginning part of a video or the ending part of a video. This is not a full editing software where you can split different parts of a video in between. You can just do the beginning and the end. But once you're done with that, you're going to click done. Position refers to where the video is relating to other elements. So right now it is in the front. It's not going to let me go any more forward. But if I click backwards here, it will move it to the back of this design. So that's what position is, for you to move it forward or backward between elements. And align will just move the element that you have selected, which right now it's the video, to the top, to the middle, to the bottom. It's just an easier way for you to get a precise direction to where you want to move each element to. I'm going to go ahead and position this video back to the front. Next, we have the volume. Just like music, you can turn up or down the volume of videos. You can change the transparency. Right now, it's at full transparency, but if I move the slider over, it'll make it a little more transparent for me here. You can always lock a video. The lock feature is helpful because once you start having a lot of elements on your design, it can get a little bit hectic. You start clicking one thing when you meant to click another, and this just makes things easier for you to keep things that you're done with editing and keep them locked in place. I'm going to unlock it for now and continue on. You can make a copy of this video by clicking this duplicate, or you can trash it here. But moving along, here are backgrounds. Nothing groundbreaking here. They're just backgrounds for your designs divided into different categories. You can use the search bar to find anything you want, or you can search by color here. Folders we've talked about in the past. And then down here, if you click on this more option, you'll get all the apps and integrations that Canva has. If you ever wanted to move this whole menu out of the way, you can always do so by clicking this hide option here, and that will give you a better view of your design as you're creating it. To get an even better view, you can always zoom in using this option down here, and it will move it closer for you. At the top of the design, you'll see three options here. One is for you to add notes, the other is to make a duplicate page, and then the next one is to add a page. Duplicate will make an exact copy of the design you have already. So as you see now, it says page 2 and page 1 is on top here. If you add a page, that will give you another page with the same background as the previous one, but it's blank. Now that we've added more pages, we have more options, and one of them is to add a title to each page. The other is to move pages around. So if you wanted to move this one down, you'll click here, and then you can also move them up, and you can always delete a page altogether. Another way you can add a page is by clicking this option below each photo instead. And these pages are more so useful for when you're creating like an ebook or something that needs extra pages. But I also use the extra page options when I'm creating a design. Say I wanted to change the color of this text here, but I'm not sure if I would like it. I will first duplicate the design, change the color on the bottom one, and then see if I like the way it looks. And if I don't, then I just go ahead and delete it, and I still have my original on top. So that's a tip there that I love using. Most of my designs end up with multiple pages because I'm always playing around with different fonts and colors to try to see what I like best. To start editing this template, you can click on any of the elements on the page. You can tell what element you're selecting, as I said earlier, because there will be a blue highlighted type of line around each element. elements. If I wanted to change the color of the circle here, just click on it. At the top, we'll have a tools bar, and each element will have a different tools bar depending on what is editable within that element. So for this text, we have font here. You can click the down arrow to show you more fonts. You can change the size here. And as you hover over each of these options, it'll kind of tell you what it's for. So we have font color here. You can bold and italicize some fonts. It depends on what it is. Some allow you to do these things and some don't. You can always underline, you can left align, right and center align things. Next we have this uppercase. So to show you how that works, I'm going to go ahead and delete this arrivals part. And to do that, you just click inside the text box. You'll get this blinking cursor here. Click and hold and highlight the word that you want to delete. So I'm going to delete that and go ahead and type in collection instead. So now you see that the top is uppercase and the bottom one is lowercase. To make this uppercase, of course, you can do it with your keyboard, but a faster way is to use this uppercase option here, and that'll make everything uppercase with one click. So that's a super fast way. If you have something lowercase initially, but then you change your mind and want to make it uppercase instead, you can always use that option. Next to that, we have the list options. You can use a bullet list or a numbered list, or if you click one more time, it will take all that away, which it doesn't apply here, so I'm going to leave it at that. Next to that, we have spacing. And spacing gives us the option to put space between our letters. So as you see, our letters are a little bit more spaced out. And the next option are line height. So that's the lines between each word. So if I put them closer together, that's going to make all of these letters and words closer together. But I'm going to go ahead and click the undo button here 2 times to undo both of those things. So with all these edits that I've been making to this text, now it's in an awkward position on top of this photo. To make it all one line instead of 2, all you have to do is stretch this text box out a bit, because the words got a little bit too cluttered from all the edits we've made. So we have to stretch out the box so that it can fit more properly. So now it's on top here. And of course, you can always make your text bigger here right on the design instead of going up here. Just hover over the corners and stretch it out and make it fit how you like. We were on effects. So here is where you can add cool things to your text to make it do different things, like have a shadow behind it like this. Then we have lift, then we have hollow. Splice is the one that I use the most often, and as you can see underneath each effect, you'll have a different set of options so that you can change the thickness and make the outline a little more thicker. You can change the offset. If you want it to look a little more 3D, just increase this so that the inside shading can move a little more towards the outside, or you can move it closer so that it's right inside and it looks like it's literally shaded inside the outline. You can change the direction and you can change the color. I'm going to change this whole template into a fall template. Instead of it saying summer 2020, it's going to say fall and have a fall vibe going to it. So I'm going to choose those kinds of colors. So here I'm going to choose a brown color. Well, I guess that's more like a yellow, but we're going to choose this color wheel on top and move it around so that it is more like a fall brown. So that's how you use these effects. Just choose any and then mess with the options at the bottom to make it look how you want it to look. Going back to the design, I'm going to finish off what these things are so that we can get to editing the rest of the template. Position, we talked about a little bit before when we were talking about videos. If I move this text on top of this image and I want the text to move behind the image, that's when you will use position. So just click on backwards and it will move it to the back. And this works in layers. So if I move it back to the front, you'll see first it'll go on top of that white square. I'll move forward again, then it'll go on top of the image. So there's definitely layers. Sometimes you think that you're moving things to the back and it looks like it's going nowhere, but it's a lot of layers that it has to jump through. So just keep clicking it until it moves to where you want it to be. And then we have styles. We talked a little bit about styles here. Just like they have styles ready for you to use, you can apply the styles that you've created to your own text. So if I click on this, and I click on the styles paintbrush, that's going to copy the style of this text. And anything I click after that, it's going to apply that type of style. So you can't see it because it's the same color, but I'm going to move it towards the top to explain to you what happened. It changed the summer 2020 to this style of text. Now, it didn't add the effects that this had, but it added the same color of the outline and it added the same text font to it. So that's what styles is for. If you ever want to quickly add the same font, same colors to a text, you can always just copy the style instead of clicking on the text and making the edits yourself. I'm going to click on undo to get the summer 2020 to look like it did before. Then we have transparency, which we've touched on. You can use the slider to make things lighter or darker. You can always add a link to any text with this link option. You can lock any text so that it doesn't move around as you're trying to edit other things. You can always duplicate text and trash it all together. So now let's just finish editing this template so that we can move on to how to create the thumbnail for this exact video. So I'm going to change summer to fall. I just highlighted the summer text and typed in fall in its place. And we're going to change around, first of all, the outline of this new collection. Just click on it, go to colors. I'm going to go with black as the outline for this. Then we're going to change the colors around a bit. So this red, I'm going to change it to a more fall type color. So clicking on this color box and scrolling all the way down, I'm going to choose this orange and I'm going to go to the color wheel to make it a more dark orange. I'm going for a burnt orange type of look. So now we can click on this, copy the style and copy that style to this circle. And I'm going to copy the style to this circle as well. Another thing we have to do is change this pink background because that is definitely not a fall type of look. So we're going to select the color box. And for this color, let's see, what should we go with? I kind of want to just go with a white. But now this square here is blending in with my white background. So let's change the color of this square. Click on it, select the color box, and let's change it to, what's another fall color? I guess red is a fall color. But let's just change it to a more darker red. Now the very last thing would be to change this photo. So I'm going to select this photo and delete it. And now our options are to either delete the image itself or delete the whole grid. I definitely want to keep the grid, which is this box in the background. I just want to delete the photo. So let's go ahead and choose that. And now it gave us this blank space for us to drop a new photo. Going to this left-hand side, I'm going to choose photos. And this is one that I recently used, so I'm going to select this one. But you can always search for one you like using the search bar or scroll through and find one. And that is going to add it to my design. To drop it right into the grid, all you have to do is select it, click and hold, and move it around until it falls right in there. And now you can select the image if you want to edit it. The options are to add a filter, to adjust. You can adjust the brightness, the contrast, saturation, tint. You can make it a bit blurry. And once you're done adjusting all of this, you'll always get a filter code here, which you can copy and save if you like the way your picture looked and you want to apply that filter to other pictures. Use this code here. Next to that, you can also crop the picture. We'll get this window here where you can edit the picture, move it around. You can stretch it and make it bigger and just move it around so that it shows in the square only what the portion that you want there. Once you're happy, you can click done. Next to crop is info about the photo. So it tells you what it's called and other information about it. If you want to add it to likes or add it to a photo. The position we've talked about, and the rest of these things we've talked about. The transparency, the linking. If you want to lock the photo so that it doesn't move around. So there we go. It says new collection, fall 2020 has changed from this. New arrival, summer 2020. Same template. The hard work was done for us. I guess the only thing I forgot to change was this circle down here. So copy style into this one. I blended right in with my background. That's fine. So that's what it looks like, and that's how easy it is for you to choose any template for Instagram, for Facebook, for YouTube thumbnails, YouTube intros, even videos. You can come in and just customize them, make them your own, change around the text, add effects, add different photos, make it your own. The groundwork, the hard work has been done for you. The templates are expertly prepared for you to just come in and customize them. Let's backtrack real quick to show you two very important features that I completely forgot to talk about. The first one is the grouping option. So if I hover my mouse right beside this design, click and hold my mouse and drag it across, it's going to select multiple elements at once. From here, I'll have a grouping option at the top right. If you click that, that'll make these elements be stuck together so I can move them around at the same time. And this is super helpful when you want to make edits or tweaks to your design and move everything over a little bit. You don't have to move each thing one by one. You can just select them all together and move them over and group them if you want. And you can always ungroup by selecting the group of elements, and then you'll have the ungroup option here. I just really wanted you to know about that because that makes things easier as you're creating designs. The next thing that I skipped over was the background remover. You can remove backgrounds off their photos that they have available or off the uploads that you get from your own computer. I'm going to select this photo to remove the background from and show you how that works. So selecting this design so that the photo jumps here, whatever design is selected with the blue outline, that's what any element you choose from this menu, that's where it will jump to. So always make sure you have the appropriate design selected before you choose what you want. Now we're going to select the photo, and that gives us the effects option here. Aside from the background remover, which is the first option, you also have a lot of other effects you can add to this photo. You have liquify, glitch, color mixes, bad TV, duotone. So you can play around with those to add some interesting effects to your photos on your designs. For now, let's go ahead and continue talking about the background remover. My photo is selected. Now all we have to do is click background remover. It will start working its magic and automatically remove the background for us. Once the background is removed, we'll have two sets of options here on the left hand side. If we don't like how the background automatically edited this picture, we can always restore some of the picture or erase more of it. Let's start with the erase option. Say I wanted to erase, let's see, a little bit more of the bottom of this picture. I just click and hold and erase with this brush. You can always increase the brush size if you want to erase faster and cover more space here. And you can always show the original by check marking this box. I'm going to click cancel to undo that. The restore works the same way. Just click it and hover over the part that you want to restore, and it will start adding that part of the picture back for you. And this just gives you a little bit more control as to what part of the background you actually want removed. You can always increase the brush size here as well and show the original image at any time to make more precise edits. If you like how it looks, click done. If not, just click cancel. Now let's talk about your download options. So let's click here. And the first option is to choose your file type. You can download as a PNG, a JPEG, a PDF, and this is great for when you want to print something like an ebook, a lead magnet, and you want to have it printed. You would download it as a PDF. MP4s, GIFs, and underneath each option you have a short description of what each one is and how it works and where you'd use it. So that's super helpful. We're going to leave it as PNG. Next to that we have size, and this works like the resize option. You see that it increases the pixels here, so it will download it in a bigger size, but it will not be adjusted as we adjusted it earlier when we used this resize option. So I'm just going to leave it as normal here, which is 1080 by 1080. Here you can choose to download your image as transparent, so all this white background will be transparent. Only the elements that have full color will be solid. That's what transparent is for. You can compress the file. It'll be a little bit lower quality, but it'll be easier to upload and download. Then you select your page. Right here we have two pages because it's the original template that I began with, and then it's the design that I ended up with. So you can choose to download both pages together, or you can come here and select an individual page. Click done, and then click download, and that will download it to your device, whether you're editing on a tablet or phone or your computer. Next to that, we have these three dots where you get even more options. You can download again, you can share a link, you can present this like in a PowerPoint type of presentation, or you can present it and record yourself on top of the presentation. You can share this design straight to a Facebook page, to Twitter, to an email, to Drive, MailChimp, so many different options here that Canva has partnered with to make it easier for you to share. The only thing that I do not see here is Instagram. So if you wanted to share this design to Instagram from your phone, you can always email the design to yourself and then download it on your phone to upload to Instagram. Or if you have Dropbox or Google Drive on your phone, you can do that. Or another option is to have the Canva app on your phone. And once you have it there, you can always download your designs from your phone right from the Canva app. That's another option. Scrolling down, I want to show you what else is available here. You can print this design on a t-shirt, on a business card, on a poster card. And here's more options. Stickers and letterheads and cards, trifold brochures. And here's more apps that you can use to get a hold of your design. So now we are here back on the Canva homepage. And before I leave you today, I just want to quickly show you how I created the thumbnail that you saw in this video. Let's start by searching YouTube thumbnail here, which is one of my recent searches. So I'm going to go ahead and select that one. And just like the Instagram post, you have the option of selecting templates, but we're going to start and create one from scratch. First thing we're going to do is name this thumbnail. Next, we're going to go get a copy of this thumbnail so that I can have to reference. So I'm going down to folders, all your designs, and the thumbnail is right here. So I'm going to click on it. And as I told you, I have several pages of this thumbnail because I was playing around with the design, with the different backgrounds and fonts to find the one that I like. And this is the final one that I use. So I'm going to click on that one, and that's going to bring it here to my design. I'm going to add a page. I will be using this page to create the design, and periodically I'll be scrolling up to reference the design up here. So it started me off with the background, as it always does, and the background is just this baby blue color. If I hover over it, you can see the hex code here of what that is. So I'm going to leave that as is, but the very first thing we're going to do is add the Canva Pro text on top. I told you before, you can always go here to the text and add the text straight from here, but a hack is to just simply click the T on your keyboard and that will bring up some text. So there's my text, and I'm going to type in Canva Pro. Scrolling to the top, moving it to the top, we're going to change the font to Intro Script, and that is here at the top, and it is bold. And we're going to change the color to this greenish blue color here. Then we're going to add the effect, which is my favorite one to use, splice. Next, we're going to space out these letters because they are way too close with this intro script font and then the effect. It made it too close, so I'm going to change the spacing to 100, and that moved it for me. Going back to effects, I'm going to change the offset a little bit so that it is right inside the text. I'm going to leave it at 23. The thickness is fine and everything else is fine. Next, we're just going to make this a lot bigger, so about a 125. Center it again, and to change the outline color to black, I'm going to click on the text color and change it. Oh, actually, I'm going to go with this dark navy blue color instead. Now, clicking again the T on my keyboard, I'm going to type in the next set of text. And let's start off this time by increasing the text size to about a 115, 113. I just want it big, but also a little bit smaller than the Canva Pro. We're going to change the font to this capital font that I like, Beba's New or something like that, but I want it as one line, so I'm going to stretch it out until it fits as one line and adjust it accordingly. Now we're going over to the effects and using the same one, splice, and changing the color to this pink one. And then I don't like how it's offset in this particular design, so we're going to go to the editing options and we're going to change the thickness to a 38. And the offset, we're going to bring it way down to a small number. In the direction, I'm going to leave it as is. So that is the end of the next set of text. Next, we're going to add all of these elements, this Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and even these little splash elements on the side. So for that, we're going to go to elements, and everything I used I can find on my recently used, but you can always use the search bar to find what you're looking for. I'm going to go ahead and add all of these to my design. So first we have these splash icons here. I'm going to move it to the top and change the color to a white. Some of these elements will allow you to change colors, but some of them are set. You can't change the colors, but this particular one you can. And I just made it white just because I already thought the design looked a bit cluttered. I definitely wanted to add something more up here, but I didn't want it to be something too big or bright that would make it look even more cluttered. To get a copy of this to put on the other side, you can click Control-C and then Control-V on your keyboard. If you're on a Mac, I'm sure the shortcuts for copy and paste are different, but I'm sure you know what those are. And of course, you can always use the duplicate option up here to do it instead. So I made the copy and then I used this round arrows here to move it and switch it around so that it makes sense on this side. And right here, I added all of my icons. Now I'm just going to center them, and I try to leave as much space as I can between elements so that they aren't cluttered. They call it white space, but I kind of fail at that most of the time. Very last thing we have to do is add the text down here. So for that, I'm going to select this design, click the T, and that will give me some new text. The first one is going to be ads, and I'm going to move it here below the Facebook, switch it around, swivel it around with this two-headed arrow here. And this font is actually the same one that I used on top, so no need to change it there. I like the size of it here. The only thing we'll have to do is add some effects. I used echo and change the offset to about a 20. So now that we have this set to go, we can go ahead and select it, Control-C and Control-V to copy it, and then we're going to copy it one more time to move it here. And of course, just change what the text says. And there we have it. That's how I created this thumbnail here. I just created this thumbnail design with you very quickly, but it really took me more than an hour to come up with this concept and a design that I actually like. So if you want to see how I arrived at this concept, my thumbnail creation process from start to finish, how to upload the thumbnail to your YouTube video, and all of that jazz, make sure to check out the video that is on your screen now. And for even more Canva tips, tricks, and hacks, check out the playlist that's on your screen now. Thank you so much for stopping by my channel today. Leave a comment down below if you found this helpful, and I'll see you next time.